It's Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. White get in the building.
Good morning, yo.
I love your ensemble head to toe. You look great. The colors, you're popping.
You look like a baby.
Love the shoes, the match.
Yeah,
everything.
this girl hooked me up. Her name is Mercy. She's from Kokomi, Africa or something.
Ah,
You know, I met her at Freedom Park and
Nice.
so she made everything and sent it to me.
nice. You got to make me a copy.
Yeah, I'm sending her number to you and everything.
I love the combo.
You know, so
Nice. How you doing, Waike?
excited to be
You flaunt it today.
t-shirt. Like Obi Ajini always wearing
The shoes
t-shirt.
are matching your pants, matching the shirt. The shirt.
hats, everything.
On point.
Honestly.
Waike in the building.
Yeah, did the shoes. She did everything.
Wow.
She did it in about 2 or 3 days.
Wow, fantastic.
Sent it to me.
Nice.
Please, we'll get some.
How you doing?
She tried. I'm fine.
Anything happening?
You know, Nigeria is a very patriarchal society, and if you don't know it, if you didn't know it before, know it now. You know, I've been telling you about those boys outside shrine.
Yeah.
Every day I will come down, I will shout, I will clap, my neck will come out. On Sunday I passed. They were there, all of them sleeping. With their
Having that.
eyes so screamed. They all packed. I said, and the place was there. I said, sweep everywhere. And I don't want to see you. I was shouting, go. Then I went, I drove round.
You're back.
So I shouted again. And I went. Then I called my brother because I knew he was going to pass. I said, Femi, please, when you are passing, if you see those boys outside, help me shout at them. My brother, when he got there, he walked and said, if you like, you go to the mall, you go to the church, don't stay here. Since then,
They are
Not
gone.
saying anything. Imagine.
Authority has spoken.
gone.
Because it was a man that spoke.
Because he was a man. Me, I've been screaming for the past how many weeks and months. I even went and got them inside program.
They still didn't leave.
They still did it.
When Femi came once,
Once, they respected themselves. In fact, as he was talking, they were flying. Wow. One said, I will help you. I said, who are you?
that's the
Check out
reality.
society.
That's the reality. Oh.
Reality.
That's
So all this big that we make here,
You just
it's just big.
God will
God will
help
help
us.
us. That's how we conclude every situation in Nigeria. God will help us. How you doing, Mariam?
Fine.
I love your outfit.
Thank you, Ada. House of Vichy. Yes, I made it
Vichy.
here. My house is quite peaceful. My daughter has gone off to her big sister's house.
Oh, you miss her.
Time there. And she called, she was like, are you missing us? I was like, yes, I'm missing. No, are you missing me? I was like, yes, I'm missing you, not. Because it feels so different. Honestly, I think it's good to take some time away
Once in
from
a
your
while.
children. I love them, but my God, the peace.
House is
I'm beginning to feel a little bit like Mariam.
like
That
the-
Ima's mommy was just too much.
too much for you.
You and your husband can get run down, man.
You can't get down. Grandma is around.
No,
Grandma
Is
left
grandma
already.
supposed to be sleeping in
I
their
don't
room?
understand how grandma will
What's
affect
it
anything.
happen?
Like this one.
She'll be walking around.
Waike is already. Waike, you're 60 plus. Calm
I
down with your
don't know.
imagination. Auntie with the fine hair.
Hey, I'm
She's
loving her
intimidating
hair.
us with her beautiful hair. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
It's all yours, right?
It's all mine, yeah, of course.
Just gotta let Nigerians know.
My sister-in-law lost her father yesterday.
Oh.
It was very painful. She lost her mother just before her. That's my husband's younger brother's wife. That's our Uyoyo Imamejiro. She lost her mom a week to her wedding.
Ooh.
Yes, she's just been married for 5 years now, and yesterday she just came to my house, and then she had gone to see him. He's been ill, taking care of him, and she just came in yesterday when they called and said the man had
Passed. Oh, may his soul rest in peace.
It was so painful. She cried all through. In fact, we're mourning. We're actually mourning. Cried all through. I had to give her a small drink so that she would sleep, because the way she was hitting herself on
What
the
kind of
floor.
drink you give her? Let me not even ask you.
Me self takes small.
Drink.
You know, they say we should mourn with those that mourn.
Yeah.
So but it's just painful. I hope that God gives them the grace. They're trying to organize the burial right now, yeah. So I'll keep you guys up to date.
Yes, yeah.
Obiajulu, even though you are looking so beautiful
Yeah.
today, I'm loving the hair. I'm just loving.
I attended my uncle's 8 days fidel.
You had to go.
No, my uncle's fidel yesterday. It was yesterday.
Okay.
8 days prayer.
Oh,
He passed on last week too. So we were there with the entire Fuja family, complete. It was good seeing everybody again. It was a nice
I thought it was in Abuja.
He lived in Abuja. He was buried there quick because he's out the next day. But his family is here, the entire family. So everybody came to, although his wife did
ceremony
yeah.
here.
So there was a ceremony in here in Lagos for, not really a ceremony, it's an 8 days prayer. Ceremonies happen maybe 40 days. We don't sure if they're going to do 40 days yet, but hopefully they do. But 8 days was just prayer. But may his soul continue to rest in peace.
Listen, I visited this guy. His mom died in Pasuma.
Oh, yeah, I saw that on social media.
Mom
They
died.
would have buried her immediately because
No. They buried her immediately, but they did the 8 days on Friday. I couldn't go. The traffic was crazy, man.
Right.
On Friday,
I'm sure
you
they were-
people were late to the studio.
We were.
I was monitoring it. I was telling Theo. I said, Theo, 9:07. The show started 9:07.
Because
On the road.
We're late too.
Million has gotten at 10
past
past
our
10.
banter time now. We're not just let's go. And
I love the gisting part.
be right
There
back.
should be a gisting
We'll
show.
be right back.
Newspaper, my head don't come.
We'll be right back. Hello, Cafe Park.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation. INEC, IG Hammer, REC. No, INEC and IG Hammer, REC. CP as court halts Binani. Court clears ASCSN president of human trafficking charges. Court voids NNPCL board's decision in the last 15 months. DMO report, Nigeria defaulting in Chinese loan repayment. Aviation unions threaten indefinite strike. LP next sacks acting chair Apapa, 4 others. NBA 6 release of its abducted ex-president Wali, and 84,000 candidates sit for the rescheduled mock UTME. Which story are we starting with?
Let me just take this is a short one, a sad one, albeit a sad one. It says the NBA president Yakubu Meikel SAN yesterday has appealed for the release of Okewali SAN. He was kidnapped on Monday along the East-West Road in Obio, Akwa local government area of Rivers State. And this is the second time he's been kidnapped. He was kidnapped once in 2014, October 11th. He regained his freedom 13 days after. And then this also happened, and he's been kidnapped again on Monday. And so, they're calling to the government of the Rivers State and also to the Inspector General of Police and Commissioner of Police Rivers State to please leave no stone unturned until he's been found, and released, and also the kidnappers arrested. And so the police are investigating, and they're doing everything in their power to make sure he comes back.
Wow. So yesterday in Abuja, the High Court sitting yesterday totally discharged and acquitted the president of the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, ASCS. If you recall, Mr. Innocent Bola Audu and 3 others were alleged to have been involved in human trafficking charges. We took the story some time ago. Justice Charles Agbaza cleared Bola Audu and 3 others on the ground that the prosecution failed to link the defendants with the offense. If you recall, also NAPTIP, that's the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking of Persons, dragged the 4 civil servants before the court, claiming that they were involved in human trafficking back in 2021. But the judge has acquitted them right now, said that they're free to go, that the prosecution couldn't link them to the charges.
So operations resumed yesterday. They said full operations at the nation's airports following the suspension of a 2-day warning strike by aviation unions. The intervention of top officials of the Nigerian Civil Authority, NCA, Salary and Wages Commission and aviation agencies was what led to the temporary stoppage of the strike, which started on Monday. Now, the aviation union, last week, we know that they announced the warning strike so that they can press home their demands for immediate release of the reviewed conditions of service of their members, implementation of the minimum wage consequential adjustments, and areas for the Nigeria Meteorological Agency, NIMET, since 2019. They also, requested for the stoppage of the planned demolition of Aviation Agency's building in Lagos by the Ministry of Aviation for an airport city project called Aeropolis. So there are a lot of unions here. I don't know if I have time to mention all of them. But however, the strike was suspended. Before it was, the union members at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport barricaded the roads leading to the General Aviation Terminal. And they were there before, after like 30 minutes, they were now dispersed when they got the news that their leaders have started having a conversation to see how they can, do away with the strike. So hopefully at the end of the various meetings, they will now decide if the government will yield to their demands or the strike would continue.
Okay. Any story? Moving on. Nation. Moving on now to the Punch. Adamawa Governor Fintiri floors Benani. INEC takes Rex case to Buhari. Husband tackles Lagos hospital as wife dies after childbirth. Things fall apart in Warri. NCAA probes Lagos Amsterdam flight stowaway uncovered in the Skiffle. Striking workers begin airport shutdown next week. Shell removes 460 illegal connections on the Trans-Niger pipeline. And National Assembly leadership, APC Working Committee awaits Tinubu and Adamu's meeting. Which story are we starting with?
Yes,
Major
let's
Headman?
just give updates on Adamawa State elections. So the governor, Ahmadu Fintiri, has been declared winner, and updates on what happened. Of course, we know exactly what led up to finally announcing him as governor. So we remember the reg that went ahead and announced Bindani as governor, even though collation had not finished. And so INEC is giving an update on what is meant to do on its part, given the Constitution. And it says that according to the Constitution, to remove a rec, the president can only act on an address by 2/3 majority of the Senate in accordance with Section 6.3 of the Electoral Act. And so because of that, what they do first is they've written to the Inspector General of Police for immediate investigation and possible prosecution of this resident electoral commissioner for Adamawa State, that's Barrister Hudu, Yunusa Ari, and then request the Secretary to the Government of the Federation to draw attention to the appointing authority to the unwholesome behavior by NEC. So what they're saying is that they've followed the Constitution and taken the steps necessary for investigating and prosecuting him.
In a related story, Senator Benani has denied offering 2 billion naira bribe for a declaration as governor-elect. If you recall, the rumors going around saying that an officer claimed that she had paid 2 billion naira to the REC to have made that announcement. She said according to her words, my attention has been drawn to a very bizarre, unfounded, wild allegation purportedly made by an officer of the DSS. Said that she had given 2 billion naira to procure a favorable declaration as governor-elect. She says she's a Democrat. She would never do that. She has won her own election as a member of the Senate in free and fair election, that she would never do that, that the man was actually being tortured when he was tortured by government officials and members of the DSS was actually being tortured by members of the government house police team alongside political thugs that caused him to make that kind of allegation against her, that she never had offered anybody 2 billion naira to announce her as governor-elect.
And I was just, go on. I was going to...
Let's go on a quick break then. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Any story in Punch?
Yes. So the chairman of Shell companies in Nigeria, Sage Okombo, on Tuesday said that the international oil company discovered and removed 460 illegal connections on its Trans-Niger pipeline before the facility could be restored after it was shut down for 1 year. So the Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria operates the TNP, and it uses the pipeline to evacuate crude from oil fields in rivers and parts of Bayelsa to the Bonny crude oil export terminal. As other IOCs lamented the grave impact of the oil theft on their operation. So they said they've been having a lot of oil theft, which is affecting our outputs as a country. And the fact that it's also affecting the gas. You know, we've always been talking about how we can stop flaring gas and all of that. So because of the pipeline vandalism that's going on, that also affects the gas. Now, they went ahead to say that they have the templates to solve Nigeria's problem. But what they need is a lot of security for that for those pipelines in those areas. And also the willpower to go with the implementations that they already have in their templates, exactly. That they have all these laws, what will help us to even go into biofuel and all of that. But it's to follow through with the implementation. And that is where we almost
That's a Nigerian
do
problem.
something
It's a
about
Nigerian
it.
problem.
Yeah.
You know, we can't even...
We have the best laws. We have the everything. That's why
everything.
someone argue
Implement it
that
is a problem.
That's why someone argue that our constitution is fine the way it is. It's just
Yeah, we don't implement it.
So we'll see. Okay, let's move on to Daily Sun.
No, let me finish. Let me take
I'm so sorry. The human interest story.
Yeah.
What happened?
The man, Jeremiah Akinsetimi, sorry. He has accused the management of the medical practitioners of Faith Hills Specialist Hospital for negligence resulting in the death of his wife. Apparently, he got home at night and she was ill. She was really in pain. She was in labor. He now rushed her to the hospital and he said her cervix hadn't opened. He said they started poking her, opened the cervix. The cervix still did not open. Then the gynecologist called him and said, assessing her condition, she was just 40 weeks, and he shouldn't allow the hospital pressure him to doing a C-section. Anyway, when they got...
40 weeks.
40 weeks is ready now.
Yeah, 40 weeks.
But you know you can carry to 42 weeks.
Yeah, but 40,
Yeah,
by
but
from
she's
38, you're
riding
fine.
it.
Yeah, from 38, you're
By
good.
From 38, you're good.
And she was already in labor.
They
But
didn't
the
do
cervix,
this, yes.
he now took her, because of the advice of the gynecologist, to Faith Hills, where they said they had to do a C-section. And just before he was refusing to sign, just before the C-section, she gave birth.
Okay.
So she now started bleeding
Oh,
and bleeding.
Death.
And then
that would have been avoided.
I don't know. Well, so these are conversations that we need to continue.
It's really, really
Really
terrible.
sincere.
The hospital is blaming him. He's blaming the hospital.
Daily Sun. Pintiri wins Adamawa Guba as heads continue to roll. Buhari to commission second Niger breed before May 29, says Gambari. Aviation workers locked out of offices as unions lay siege to Lagos International Airport. COVID-19, Abuad virucidine liquid has potential for treatment, says NIMR DG. Court nullifies Ararome's removal as NNPC board chair awards 5 billion naira damages. APC expels Senator Goje over anti-party activities. Okay. Story we taking in Daily Sun.
Yes, so the Director General, Nigeria Institute of Medical Research, Professor Babatunde Salako, said that the Afe Babalola University in Ado-Ekiti, in collaboration with the NIMR, have, brought out a liquid. It's called virucidine liquid that has the potential for the treatment of COVID-19. They said there's been a lot of herbal preparations that we've used in our homes to help us go through this COVID-19. And so the university has started with some of these therapeutic, non-therapeutic measures. They've been working on this particular liquid. I think it's homegrown, made from herbs. And they have to do quite a number of testing before it can now be submitted as one of the medicines that would help to cure COVID-19. And this is a very good development. Right now, the virucidine is promising as something that would cure COVID and a part of our contribution as a country to the COVID issue in the world. So I think this is good. I think a lot more research needs to be done. Most of those universities where we are studying medicine and we're not creating anything, this is time to go back to the drawing board, get homegrown. We have the herbs here, we have everything here, get the proper measurements so that we can also say that we have something in our country that helps us as a people. It's not every time we have to be importing drugs and relying on the Western world to come and rescue us. This is a good one.
Okay. The Minister for Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Raji Fashola, and the Chief of Staff of the President, Professor Gambari, went to inspect the second Niger bridge and the second and third section of the Abuja-Kano Expressway before yesterday, and they have assured Nigerians that the president will be able to commission these two major projects, these two major legacy projects, before the end of the administration on May 29th. He said that both Section 2 and 3 will be completed and ready for commissioning by the president before the end of the tenure. And he praised the president for his outstanding and commendable commitment to infrastructure development in the country. We want to commend Mr. President for making the resources available so that this kind of progress can be made, he said. So I'm happy that these are some of the legacy projects, because that second Niger bit has been taking many years. Many administrations have come and promised and did not deliver. So if President Buhari can commission this where it goes, it's a major legacy project for his administration.
Okay, so we have, they say no fewer than 64 people were killed in a gun duel between bandits and local vigilantes in Ibi community in Mashegu local government area of Niger State last weekend. It says that local vigilantes, about 300, engaged a group of bandits in a fierce gun battle, and 50 of those bandits were killed. The story is that these bandits were mostly from Zamfara State, and they were coming to like a reprisal attack, because they had 3 weeks before, the story, 3 weeks before, bandits had come to this Ibi community and had ransacked the village and ransacked the police station there, kidnapped maybe 2 officers and a few others, and other people were killed as well. And then the vigilantes went out, you know, and they fought them. They were able to arrest them and keep them captive in the forest. And those bandits that were kept captive found a way to reach out to their co-bandits in Zamfara, and those ones now found their way back to Ibi community. But unfortunately for them, they did not know the way, so they stopped in the village and they were asking for directions. The villagers realized who they were and sent out an alert that bandits were here. So these 300 local vigilantes in the community ambushed them in the forest and killed about 50 of them. So that's the...
Okay, Vanguard.
Self-help.
Okay, go ahead.
No,
At
it's
last,
the same story I took, so
INEC
no problem.
declares Fintiri winner. My family conspired against me, voted for Peter Obi, says Omahi. Flight cancellation, passengers to get 100% immediate treatment, says NCAA. 10th at National Assembly, why South-South deserves Senate presidency, says Pandef. Ararome, lawyers, experts raise concern on NNPCL's stability. Aviation workers adamant over total shutdown of airports. Kidnapped Kaduna female students escaped from terrorist den. And presidential poll, I'm not afraid of lies and propaganda, says Peter Obi. What story are we starting with in Vanguard?
The Kaduna female students, 8 of them were kidnapped by terrorists on the 3rd of April. And they escaped. Anyway, they found a way, they walked through the forest, they walked for some days, and then they found this community where those ones called the human intelligence sources, and they alerted the Kaduna state government. The soldiers went there, and they've brought them home. The governor is ecstatic. He's really happy that, and he has praised them for being brave enough to escape.
Wow.
And I mean, for me, it's such a lovely story that at least they escaped.
Their pictures are on the...
All right, girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pictures, they blurred them.
Yeah, they blurred their faces, which I understand. But
Okay, so I have a story. So, you know, we always talk about Chinese involvement in Nigeria and all that, but this time around, Time Magazine, UK, published something, and China is very upset. Okay. How can you say that about our operations in Nigeria?
Give us the gist.
So, the Chinese government has denied funding terrorist groups in parts of Nigeria. If you remember, there's been talks that Zamfara is being mined by illegal miners and Chinese illegal miners. So, according to it, the recent reports by the Times, a British newspaper, claim that through bribes and illegal transactions, Beijing could be directly or indirectly funding terror in Africa's largest economy. The reports allege that Chinese nationals who have worked as miners in Zamfara serve as runners for some militant groups in the state and other parts of Northwest. However, Chinese embassy clearly said that this is an unproven information, adding that the allegations are totally irresponsible and unethical. Says that the embassy in China remained committed to addressing development security-related issues in Nigeria, and we have a very good bilateral relationship with them, and there's been no cases of illegal been runners for terrorist groups. He said the Chinese government, as well as the Chinese embassy in Nigeria, have always encouraged and urged Chinese companies and nationals in Nigeria to abide by the laws and regulations of Nigeria, and therefore to implement local rules and guidance on labor, environment, health, safety, and other issues in that regard.
English, we have to investigate.
That are you investigating?
No, but it's true that the Chinese are
Responding.
mining illegally.
The question is it
Are there
is it
illegal
true that it's
Chinese
illegal?
miners in Zamfara? Are there mining communities, Chinese mining communities in Zamfara and some other northern states in our country? We want our government to tell us
Investigate.
that. And those communities, they are known to many people. We have heard, we've seen. We want to know, do they have papers? And Mr. China, they said that you may unknowingly be
yes.
doing
So
it. Maybe, are
it's
you
possible.
saying
Do you
that
have
those
a license?
communities, our government
Are
and your
complicit.
government are
Working
It's possible
together.
that some people in government are complicit, are the one, you never know this.
That is why I said we
And
need an
also
investigation.
remember that the West is not happy with our relationship with China. So there's always that angle of,
That is why we need an
point is,
investigation.
the Chinese cannot enter here without some government people knowing.
Before.
yes, that's the complicit part. So
Before.
that's what they should.
No, we are not saying the government is some government officials, not government itself.
Some, yes.
are not.
Thank you for qualifying that, White. That's very unlike you. That's very gracious of you. That you qualify that for some people. Because I've always said,
I can't-
you always be like all the government, everybody's
No,
bad.
no,
I
There are
have
some.
never said that.
Like, you always say that.
I said example, leadership by example.
But I'm happy you said some people might be complicit.
So the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority said yesterday that air passengers will soon start getting 100% refund immediately anytime their airline cancels their flights. So we know that airline cancellation of flight has been like an ongoing thing. You're supposed to travel and then it just without any proper excuse or notice, you know. So they are saying they are trying to pass this into a law right now. You must either get another flight, move to another flight, or you get your full refunds, and that they understand that it's the customers that are actually paying their salaries. They must treat the customers like
Yeah,
kings.
here we go.
It's a good one, yeah.
We're not bereft of laws. We want them to do laws. Nothing for Nigerians to actually take advantage of it.
Implement it, yeah.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll move to our hot topic of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
What am I gonna do? After several 40-some years in America, and I've been saving all kinds of money just from being the house and sending it to Obinna. This crooked brother of mine, Obinna. This is what I have. Y'all see that? We got the house sinking house. That's what this guy's got me. This is supposed to be a two-story building. Two-story building. What the heck? Y'all should look at it. Look at the gutter. Look at the water. Look at all over the place. Oh, Jehovah. What the heck is this? Y'all don't understand. You sit down and you work 3 jobs in America. You know, just work 3 jobs. You got to take care of your brother. You got to take care of your brothers and sisters. You got to take care of your nuclear family. Then you have to take care of your parents. Have to take care of all. And above all, then you save. You go into take all kinds of loans. And then this is what I've got. I have not. I trusted my brother. And I've been asking my parents, are you sure? Are you sure this little boy or this will be nice taking care of my stuff? And my parents said yes. They never came. They also trusted Obinna. I'm gonna go to jail because I'm gonna make sure you go to jail. Leave me alone, please. I'm gonna continue to curse. I don't want nobody talking to me right now. No. Look at it. Look at what it's done to me. Look at it. Say, Obinna, I tell you what. As I look up the sky, it shall not be well with you. It shall not be well with you for what you have done to me. My goodness.
It's okay.
See, I'm gonna face you. Y'all need to be quiet. You should be talking to Obinna when he was fixing this place. You guys are around here, you did nothing.
Thanks for staying with us. So there was a topic that caught our attention on social media, quite disturbing story of a woman who obviously lived outside the country for many years. According to her story, she had lived abroad for 40 years. She sent money home to her brother or family member to help build a house for years. She came back home and she was obviously lamenting about the fact that the deplorable state of the house she thought had been built, the environment in which the house was built. You can only get it if you watch this clip.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Y'all don't understand. I am right here, right here. Arrived here thinking I'm gonna get a house in a 2-story building, and this is what I've got. This is what I've got. What am I gonna do? After several 40-some years in America, and I've been saving all kinds of money just from building the house and sending it to Obinna. This crooked brother of mine, Obinna. This is what I have. Y'all see that? We got the house sinking house. That's what this guy's got me. This is supposed to be a 2-story building. 2-story building. And what the heck? Y'all should look at it. Look at the gutter. Look at the water. Look at all over the place. Oh, Jehovah. What the heck is this? Y'all don't understand. You sit down and you work 3 jobs in America. You know, just work 3 jobs. You got to take care of your...
Thanks for staying with us. So this is a story we all know too well, where people send money home. It's not the first time we're hearing of this kind of story, where loved ones send money home, hoping that projects will be completed. Either money to help your parents, your aging parents, and then you find that your siblings spent the money themselves, or money to build houses or buy cars for loved ones. I've known stories of where somebody will send money home to buy a car for their mother, and the person bought the car, was using the car, and the mother never saw the car for a day. So these are stories we hear all the time. And it comes back to we, the people. Because sometimes if we want good governance, we also must show that in different ways. What are your thoughts on how we behave to each other? How can we begin to change? What causes this irresponsibility on many Nigerians? And how can we begin to share and encourage people to do better? That's the conversation today. You can call us on the numbers on your screen, 081-270-53687, 091-390-76948. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweets. As I said, this is a story we know too well. A lot of us have loved ones, family members abroad all the time. Everybody wants to come home to do something. I'm sending home money home, hoping that when they arrive, they see the project they asked for. What are your thoughts on this? And have you ever experienced this before in your own life? You see?
So I want to start with a prayer. May we not have enemies as family members. Because the enemy without cannot harm you, except the enemy within allows it. So I've seen people who traveled, and all of a sudden, because we have that mentality in this part of the world, all of a sudden the person becomes a cash cow for the family and friends. Everybody's sending demands, everybody's asking, everybody's requesting for something. And when this person now decides, okay, I want to build something at home. Can I trust you? You're my sister. I shouldn't even be asking, can I trust you? I'm going to send money to you. Help us do this for mommy. Help us build like a family home so that when I come back, I'm not going to be here for a very long time. I'm working back to back, some 2, 3, 4 jobs just to make ends meet and give you people a comfortable life back home. And then they suffer, save up this money, send to you, you take their money, you live large here, and you forget about the person who you have turned to a cash cow. I think it's just wickedness of our people. I think when somebody travels out from your family and is doing well enough to send something home, you should be praying for that person. You should make sure that everything they send is used judiciously. You know how it's difficult to get money here. In a country like Nigeria, you know how difficult it is for you to make ends meet here. And somebody is trying to make your life easy as a family member. Shouldn't you be glorifying God? At least God has sent a Messiah to you guys and helping to make sure that everything that person wants is done. If you say, okay, I have a business, so or I have a job that I am doing, I will not have so much time. If you have to, you may have to pay me for giving my time to supervise this project. For instance, it's even better. You know that as she's sending the money, she's sending your payments, but you're honest.
Let me come to you, Mariam, your thoughts. Because sometimes, oh, look at her rolling on the floor. She obviously is really, so sometimes when we are here, if you went and somebody sends money to you, for example, you don't know what they're doing abroad. You're thinking, I'm in poverty. So I'm choosing, do I remain in poverty or do I fulfill your own luxurious living? You're thinking that, okay, I'm in pain. I don't have a job. I don't have anything. You're sending me 10 million naira for now to go help you buy land. Now, you probably already have more than that and you're doing well. So the thinking is, I'm entitled to this. Now, let me that 10 million. Let me take 5 of it. Let me now use 5 million for your own work because you're already doing well. You might not even ever come back to this country. So that's the mentality we have sometimes. Is that, do you think, how does
Only
that play
thieves
out?
that have that mentality.
Only thieves.
Thieves, yes. Wicked people that have that mentality, because if you think that a person has so much and you want half for yourself, then have the conversation with the person. But if you take away anything out of the money you're given to do something else apart from what you were given for, then you're a thief. And you know it, and there's no justification, no rationalization. There's nothing if that person did not give you the express permission to use the money for something else. You know what? This story is a common story. We've heard it many times before. And for me, I just feel that this is where financial institutions can step in. Because we can lament and lament and lament, but we need to find a way forward. I know that it's just normal that you would want to trust your family. I mean, who should be closer to you than a brother or a parent? These are people that know you, they understand your struggles. They know that this is money that you're putting together. And the sad thing is, the picture that you painted is it's a very small percentage of Nigerians that have all the luxury and just want to send more luxury. There's so many Nigerians working so hard, sacrificing everything just because they want to put this money together and then someday come home to some form of comfort, not anything, out of this world. And knowing that that person is making all these sacrifices for you in another man's land, where there are no friends or family that you can just pop in and say, see, bros, I'm hungry today. Everything has to be calculated and, put aside. And then you do this to this person. So there are two things. Because it's also family, so betrayal is harder. And then because it's also family, it's harder to prosecute somebody like that. To ask that the government, you take that person to the police station. Remember, there was someone that called us once when we were talking about drug cases, and he said how his brother put drugs in his suitcase and he spent 15 years in prison, and his family told him to forgive and forget.
He's your brother.
And likely she'll be told to forgive and forget. Why would you drag your brother through the courts or, through police station? I know that she's in a tough place, but for those living abroad, deal directly with financial institutions that you can take to court if they mess up, and you can take to the police.
Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, I'll take your thoughts on this, YK. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing the matter where loved ones send money home for projects, and for whatever reason, you don't see the investments. YK, your thoughts on this?
Well, I want to agree with Obiajulu and Miriam, what they said, and also add that if you decide that you want to send money home to your family, always follow the project step by step. Where is the land? Where is the COO? Don't just trust them, because this story, I've heard it so many times.
YK, some people take pictures of other houses. They will take pictures of what else's house.
They will send you other houses, I know, because I've heard it before. They will keep collecting money and then try to visit. You yourself, visit. Engage the workers, because, you see, I want to put myself, I can never be in Obina's position because that's a criminal. What he would have thought is she's enjoying
That's what
in America.
Yeah.
This woman said she's doing 3 jobs. 3 jobs to be able to pay. And then you are now thinking, she's enjoying, she's in America. Because of, we have been painting, everyone paints going to America, and
it's paradise.
It's paradise. It is not paradise. They work there, they work in winter. Winter, when you wake up, you will sleep that you want to sleep. They have to get up and go to work. People here do not understand. People here just feel that once you get there. Look, I remember the first time I went to England. I mean, I was young, I'd been hearing England, when you go to England, and I don't even know what I thought. So when I got to the airport, okay, got onto the street, I saw these old houses. I looked, the road cobbled.
Is this the England?
Is this the England? Is this the London? I was so disappointed. I was visibly disappointed. But these people do not know. They just think that these places are paved with gold. So before you trust your family, your family are the worst.
Oh, hey, but should that be the case?
Yes, it shouldn't be.
We should, I don't
We
know.
have lost integrity. We don't have integrity. It pains me
That's
to
what I
say
was
it.
saying. That's what I'm trying to put I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of that family member. Because I know a few people who, in the past, they are struggling. So when your sister left Nigeria, both of you were together, and then she moved on, she met somebody, she's gotten a family, you're unable to get a job, things are really tough for you, and you're stuck with mom and dad, taking care of them, so there are responsibilities, you're the one making sure everything's okay. Now, suddenly at some point, sister says, I want to build a house. And of course, she trusts the brother. Brother is still trying to make ends meet. Yes, sister sends me some dollars here and there, I change to make my ends meet. But now I'm doing this project, so I start well, right? I get the foundation, I get the land, and we're building, and she's seeing it, and I'm happy. But gradually, things are getting expensive, you're having challenges, you start,
Why don't you communicate?
Things happen in life, and you don't want your sister to feel as if, because you already know she's spending money.
Okay.
She's already spending, you see the investment she's making in the house already.
Okay.
In your mind, she's already spending a lot. I don't want to put my own burden. Let me just take a portion of this, hoping that when the business go through, I can pay back.
End up like that.
I
And
like
gradually, so I'm just saying that sometimes it's not the intention to be wicked.
But
the
at
intention
the
is
moment
not
you wicked,
Yeah,
you are
that-
wicked.
See, Mariah, let me pause you there, please. A thief is a thief. Let's call it what it is. There is no how that things have changed, things have gotten expensive, that you cannot have a conversation with your sister. I said in the beginning, if you want your sister to pay you for the job that you're doing, state it, please. Things are very difficult. We are struggling here. You will have to be paying me for this work that I'm doing for you.
agree.
That's a way that I can get something out of it.
That's a
And-
nice
no.
sister. There are some
I'm just
vicious
telling you.
sisters.
No, wait.
There's
Now,
some-
lie. A vicious sister that is sending money, you don't want to pay me?
no, she's not
now.
vicious.
She's not vicious. For her to send money, I've heard people who told me they want to buy something. Okay, link me up with Top Bear or link me up with somebody. And I'm like, you don't have family members? They say, my family, no, I won't even go there. They should not even know or hear that I am doing this. It's because of this bad behavior. So we must understand our family members. If this particular Obina boy has been stealing in the house before you traveled, do you think all of a sudden because you're in America, he will change? We need to pay attention to the kind of family members we have. I have a family on one side this way that, in fact, anything you want to do and you get them involved, they will follow you to the end. When your money stops, they will borrow you money. When we're doing our own building, the side of the parents that handled it, sometimes my husband gets stuck. And daddy will say, don't worry, I will pay. They just paid me. Daddy's a lawyer. They just paid me for the job I did. I will pay so and so that the work continues. When you get your money, you pay me back. Yeah. That is what a family member should do for you. So if you look around your corner and know that I don't have this kind of family members, please, like Miriam said, get an institution that will handle it. There are property agents now that would handle it. You get your papers, you get everything verified, do your work. When you finish, when you come back to Nigeria, invite them to come and do housewarming. And that's it. We must learn as human beings to begin to create boundaries, whether they are family members or friends or neighbors, anybody who you see that his goals do not align with yours, that will probably rip you off. You must protect yourself. This is not being nice, this is being smart.
Let me take, Yakub's been holding. Good morning, Yakub, are you there? You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
I think this is not what we have. Nigeria are not like this. It is some parents. This is so correct. It is is so swearing the sense that this person called Odina, he forget that that a day is coming that he's going to meet his creator. Because somebody traveled out of the country, working all day night, spending money to you as a brother, and then look at what you did. Look at the woman that is fought down. Let me even tell you this. Even here in Nigeria, there was a time I had a friend of 20-something years. Imagine, in fact, it's even a Igbo guy, a very close friend of mine. There was a time he trusted in me, and then he made sure that all the house he wanted to build, I supervised this house. He was never even one day come to that place. And then I don't know that I'm even doing myself a good. You know what really happened? After I finished that building, I handing over the keys to this guy. After 2 or 3 weeks of handing over the keys to him, I have accommodation problem. Hello, I don't know if you are hearing me. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So I have accommodation problem. When my friend got to know that I have accommodation problem, I don't even tell him. Somebody told him that I already have this over thing. The guy called me, a Igbo guy, indeed. He called me, he said, I'd like to come. I heard that you have accommodation problem. I said, who told you? He said, somebody. You know, Morayo, this guy handing over the house I built for him. He's handing over all the keys to me. That I should go and live in that house. So I didn't mean that I siphoned the money. What will happen? So the real house is that this lady should get her brother arrested because what he did is so cruel, and then he must hand it over to police and was prosecuted.
Yes, so let's go to that part. Should you arrest your brother? Yeah.
I will arrest him.
So, your brother.
That one is not my brother.
You arrest Femi.
Femi will not do that to me.
And
Me,
you
I
say
know
so,
for...
then
See,
definitely
the
Femi won't
brother
do
that
that.
will do that to me, I will
Deserves
arrest
to be
him.
arrested, yes.
Not only will I arrest him, I will follow it through. That jail, he must sleep it or cough my money. Let me tell you why. Because we was on this show, we were discussing yesterday, or was it on, I think it was Journalist Hangouts, and they were saying people do not see results of their crimes. Consequences, thank you, of their crime. We keep, hey, it's your family member now, leave him. No, it's not my family. My family member can't do that to me. My family member deserves to be in jail if he does that to me.
But they'll say life is not so hard. Yes,
life is hard. Look at the woman. Look at the woman. She's running on the floor. And guess what? Somebody is even there filming her.
Yeah. She must have asked that person
asked the person to film.
But you know, there was something that she said to the person when she...
No, listen. The person, when she was talking, the person was saying, sorry. And she was saying, get out. You saw.
Yes.
You saw what was happening. Why didn't you alert me? She was saying that now.
Yeah. All the
she called her mother too. Her mother, maybe Obina is her pet. Her mother will say,
don't worry.
It's okay. Obina, try and do the thing. But she will know.
Yeah.
She will know that Obina is doing a bad job. So they are enabling Obina.
Yes.
Who will say he has one problem, or he has one problem, it's not her fault that he has the problem.
Exactly. Let me create you.
I hear that. I mean, I want us to really, we're going to
I'll tell you, when we were building Shrine, they did it to us now. Because we were on tour. My brother bought, I think, was it 50 bags? I mean, 200, 500 bags of cement, something, sir. I can't remember. When we came back, all the cement gone, Shrine never take off. Well, we built Shrine, I'm telling you, in 1 month. We didn't go on tour, and we supervised it ourselves.
We stayed home.
We were sending money here. Not even sending, we even bought everything down. We just go, do it. So that by the time we get back from the tour,
it's ready.
It's ready for opening. When we got back,
nothing.
You see, I was standing like,
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll take a few phone calls on this. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing this matter. I have Prince Shola from the UK. Good morning, Prince Shola. You're live.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, the thing is, we just watched that program. Between my wife and myself, we've had this experience before in the past. The thing is, whether it's family member, you have to clear the family member, or friends or relatives, there's no time they will do that to you. What I would just say from our experience is that from what you just said, make sure, whether family, friends, or members, or friends, you have something you are paying them back. You pay them back for something. They are doing something for you, they are getting something. Even that, if you do that, I can tell you, presently, we are fighting with one of our workers that has just engaged you and we are paying that work out. I'm not going to mention the name on the TV now. We are paying that the TV that work. What I've just advised you supporting that to do, make sure you are going home regularly. You see? What we experience is because we are not going home because of COVID. But COVID is gone now. We can travel now. Okay? But that will not happen. But please be going home regularly and be monitoring what they do to you. Family members, friends, everything, or no family, even I can talk to them. We had experience how to do that.
Thank you very much, Prince Shola, for your comments. There's another part of this we've not discussed. You know how Nigerians, we like to do everything hush-hush, secret. We don't want anybody to know. So it's only your brother. It's only Shola I trust, or it's only Obina I trust, or you don't have any friend in Nigeria that can help to go and inspect. You don't have any cousin you can trust to say, I'm also doing a project to help you go and check, because everybody keeps it hush-hush. Could that also be a factor? Because the truth is that for somebody who's building a house, you would think that aunties, uncles, or family, loved ones, or people, neighbors, friends know that live in Nigeria, where you can say, Mariam, my cousin, my brother is helping me to build it. Let me go and check to make sure that there's cement there. So when it's just you and this person, that's the only person that can help you verify. That's a problem.
I don't agree with that, saying that because things are hush-hush, that's why we have problems. I actually think Nigerians are not hush-hush. Normal, we tell the world everything. But people have learned to be hush-hush, because usually when you tell everybody, and people who do not even have any business knowing, it just opens you up to a lot of misfortune. It's important that when you're doing something, discuss with only the people that are needed to do the thing that you're doing. If it's a house you're building, discuss it with the architect, with this. If you're discussing with an auntie or an uncle or a cousin who says, oh, so she can build a house. Meanwhile, I've asked her for money for this person's school fees. And, so that's why people don't discuss. You're only meant to discuss with those who will bring value to what it is that you're doing. The problem is not hush-hush. The problem is, who are you talking to exactly? I've used this example before. I said a long time ago there used to be an advert that that showed a person who was trying to get financial advice. And he will go to, the first person he went to was like this market woman. I was telling her all the things that he needs. She was looking at him, went to the mechanic until he ended up going to a bank. You will speak to those that have the authority and experience, to help you with what it is that you're about to do. Financial institutions, real estate managers, those are the people that you can talk to. And why it is even better to talk to these sort of people, as I mentioned before, these are the sort of people that you can take to court. If they don't do what they are meant to do, you can ask the police to arrest them. You would not feel, nobody is going to come and beg you on behalf of a real estate manager or an architect and say, forgive him, it's your brother. Because not his brother, you paid this person to do a job and the person did not deliver. It's very important also as a family member. Even if I'm on the other side where I'm the receiving sibling, if I know I would not be able to do it, I won't take it from you. Because I don't want that burden of not being able to deliver, and then we find ourselves in a situation like this, and I am trying to explain myself, oh, this thing happened, and when you were away, this money I had to use. I don't even want to.
Why did it even happen, Miriam?
Just go and meet someone who is a professional that can handle this for you.
Why did it even happen, Miriam? Why didn't you say, sister Mio, my sister, please, this money that you have sent, I've used it for this. I can't build the house. Why? If it's not that you are just being openly dishonest.
And many evil.
And
unfortunately, many
Nigerians say, when you beribe.
Unfortunately, Nigerians don't have their papers yet. So they are working, many of them, they don't have enough, they don't have the documentation to be able to go back home and come back.
Come to monitor.
So they cannot monitor.
So that's why I said there are groups of Nigerians that are abroad only to get that money and send home.
Back.
They have minimized their life and their lifestyle just to raise money to you know, to send home, and then keep something for me at home that I can come back to and rest. They don't plan on living there forever. They don't plan on settling there forever. It's like things are so hard for us there. Who will be the person that will bail the cat? I will go and I'll raise this money, and then this is how you repay them.
Let me take Hassan and I'll come to you, BC. Good morning, Hassan. Are you there?
Good morning, Morel.
You're live.
Good morning to every one of you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
What happened to this lady is mind-touching. And it has been with us for a very long time. Very, very long time. Look, people do it to their relations, they do it to their friends, they do it to their organs. Wives does it to their husband, husband does it to their wife. I'm telling you this for free. I knew of a man whose wife was building a house, and the living witness to this. The man connived with the engineer to be cheating the wife and be sharing the money with him. Very, very unfortunate. That is our situation now. You are looking at that woman from America, right? Even within Nigeria, north, south, east, west, a relation of you will encourage you to come and build a house at home. He will be the one cheating you. He will not even do the house. She's even lucky. She saw the light. She saw some sorcery. So, no lie, they will go and take fake pictures and send to her. And when we are looking at contested professionals, leave professionals away from all this. Look at them as human beings. Look at our homes. You understand? Going down every day. Built by professionals. It is not the professionalism that is the problem. It's that person wearing that toga, that profession, is the problem. Leave the architect, leave the structural engineer, leave the contractors, leave everywhere from it. People's selfish interest is what is killing us.
Right.
And that is our problem in this country. When you look at leadership, do well, check and look at the followership. We are all.
It's really got
A lack of
Yes,
integrity.
so yes, that's just it. Lack of integrity.
Lack of integrity.
So I think we also, as a people, should normalize paying people for their work, whether they are family members or not. It saves us a lot of stress. So do not think because this person is my family member, they should pause their life and then carry on your work because you are doing something. Okay? We must begin to draw up contracts with even family members. So if Miriam is my sister now, we are twins, right? And I need to do something. I should be able to pay her for. Let her be the one saying, I don't want to collect payment, but I will pay. I know. I don't understand.
Insist.
You
insist.
collect this.
Pay that person. When I was doing my project, Mamejiro, I had family members who worked with me in different capacities. I put everybody in the budget and I paid them because, and before I brought them in, I said, I know they do family when it comes to work. You will deliver when you need to deliver, or else I'll fall out with you because I'm going to pay you for this work. So let everything be done, sign a contract, so that if peradventure the person decides to eat the money and not do what you had asked the person to do, you can bring up that contract and deal with that person, whether it's a family member or not. Now, also, when family members know that I'm doing this thing in this capacity and my family, although she's my elder sister, she's paying me for this work, they will put in their best. Yeah. So let's not think because it's cheaper to use family members and not pay them and just feel, maybe I'm sending money home. That is a different thing. Plan in your budget that I'm going to pay whoever is working for me, whether family member or not. It may solve some of these things.
Good morning. Are you there? Hello. You're live. From Abuja. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Morning, John. You're live on TV. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Moraya, good morning. God
morning,
bless
sir.
You. Good morning. Good morning, Auntie KK, big Auntie. I give you.
Good morning.
Good morning, my two lovely sisters there.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah, in respect of this very lady, it has been happening in Nigeria, and it has the only thing that she's even lucky. Why I said she's lucky is because a friend has the same issue with her. She said, lady, she has been hustling in Europe.
Hello, John. Are you there?
Yeah, because this lady was hustling in Europe, sending money to his own immediate junior brother. the sister believes he's building houses for this guy. Then in the process, he sent pictures from Lagos. Oh, these are the houses I built already in Lagos. These are the houses I built even in the village. Confidently, the sister came back to Nigeria. It was even the brother that went and welcomed her from the airport. They went to the hotel and everything. After the next day, the sister now said, okay, let's go to those properties. I want to see those houses. Then the guy now said, okay, don't worry, rest now. The next day we will go. Would you believe, not knowing me, this guy went to an abandoned. And the sister, from more than 6 years now, the sister has been mad. Even now, picking paper on the road.
Oh my goodness.
So that the sister will not know anything about this brother. People are wicked. This world is wicked, especially this our area, this our Nigeria store. This lady I am talking about was even my classmate. We finished the same secondary school the same age, the same 1984. This lady, pretty lady. So God will just continue to help all our.
Okay, thank you, John.
You know,
Let me quickly add an advice my father-in-law gave to me. So this sort of thing had happened to him earlier in life. And there was a time when we were relocating from Alagbado. And I was like, okay, I'll give this person to be the caretaker of our place. I'll give this person, I'll give this person. He called me and my husband, into their bedroom. I said, BC and Oga, I know you people have a good heart. You want everybody to be okay around you. But that is not how life is. As long as I'm alive, I will not allow you put any family member in that property. I, your father-in-law and your father, will not allow you put any friend in that property. I will manage it in my capacity as a lawyer. When I'm going, I will hand it over to somebody else who is a lawyer, or you can find somebody neutral to handle it for you. He now started giving us his experience. I used to wonder how, when he sees some people around me, the way he used to frown. I'm like, oh, this man should go, he's old, he should leave me. Let me have my people around me. When he now started breaking down all the things even his own family members have done concerning properties in the village that belonged to him, I understood where he was coming from. And I'm like, thank you, Daddy, for this advice. So if you can use other people who are not your family members and do your thing. Right. It's also an option. You can do that and save yourself all this kind of stress.
This. Why are you going to say something?
No, I was just going to say, when you are, because we are saying that some of them can't come home. Look, before you send any money to anybody, know the person, know the person inside there now. Because I read one of the tweets, I went back to the tweets and I read what somebody said. So you couldn't even visit to come and see what he's doing. So some people are not even kind to her grief.
Nigerians, they're not to be kind.
So,
it's really painful. Let's take it.
I remember what I was going to say. That's narrative of when you go to that side is better than here. We need to start changing that narrative. Let people know the suffering that you are going. Like my girl Alice, I'm always telling Alice, you think that place is good? Go and sleep inside the freezer. You will know how that place is.
Can you pay for heater?
There is heater inside the freezer.
Can pay for heater?
Is there heater on the road?
But you enter
when you're working inside snow.
You don't have to work inside snow.
You have to work inside snow. You are going to work. You wake up at 5 in the morning to catch the train.
And there are people living there working. Like that one, that argument doesn't work anymore.
They should be telling us the truth. Let's know what's really going on.
I said that my account officer that left his bank. He left his bank.
That's the argument.
When he came back for a short time, and he told me, he said, if they had told me, if my friends in Canada had told me before I left, I would not have sold everything I had here and moved to that place. He said,
okay, we have to
apart from the loneliness, the cold, now another level. What are you saying?
There's one gist we need to gist on this table, Mariah. Ladies are saying when they jackpot that men don't toast them. 3 years, 5 years, they will not even say a guy that says hi. We need to talk about
They don't toast them.
Yes, there's no man there.
My friend is always complaining.
Catch your man.
She hasn't had man for like 10 years.
That's why they're
Can you
saying all those
imagine?
things that
They
you
don't
know.
chase you.
Hello, you don't get
We
it.
have to wrap up.
The
Thank you. Why
black men there chase Oyibo
Hey.
because Oyibo go make their life better. So
Okay.
they go look you.
We
say,
got
"Ah,
to
this
wrap
one,
up because
we
I
suffer
think, well,
together."
in a nutshell, we have to change. People, Nigerians, we have to change the way we be. Integrity is obviously the cause of this problem, lack of integrity. And people need to understand that, yes, there's nothing wrong in woman, in a sister trusting her brother. They're siblings. But the person who mismanaged that money is the person we should blame, not the sister who sent the money. She should be able to trust her sibling because that's her sibling. But the person who is home, who has failed to do the work and who lacks integrity, lacks honesty, is the person we should blame, and that is wrong. Nigeria, we must check ourselves. We're understanding that people make sacrifices to do something tangible for themselves in Nigeria. Many people don't want to just stay abroad. They want to come back home, and they want something to hold on to when they come back to Nigeria. The least you can do is make that dream possible for them, especially because they're already probably taking care of the family already.
And one more thing, please. They should help us show Obina's face so that if we encounter him, we know what to do.
You run away.
It's just one person. I mean, that's all we
that
can
one
take.
person.
Let's bring in our guest.
Name and
Stay-
shame.
We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Following the recent building collapse that happened last week, we have with us a safety and environmental and sustainability professional, Mr. Taiwo Aladejobi. He'll be speaking on how to create and imbibe the habit of safety in our society. You can join the conversation on 081-270-53687, 091-390-76948. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweet. So last week, everybody was talking about building collapse. And sometimes when we have a professional like you who has both local and international experience, it's always good to hear your thoughts on why buildings come down in the first place. What are your own general thoughts on why buildings come down?
Well, first, thank you for having me. It's really a pleasure to be here. You know, building collapse for different reasons. It's not unusual to have these things. But, you know, there are two different reasons where any building can collapse, either technical or human error. So about 20% technical errors, but then 80% is about human errors. Now, when I say human errors, you're talking about using the wrong material, trying to take shortcuts. So these are kind of things that eventually will lead up to a building collapse. If you're constructing on a sand-filled land, it takes time for that land to settle. So if you don't take the time or make sure you have good compaction or good piling, obviously you'll be building on a very shaky foundation. So all these things put together, and it could be a combination of the two, both technical and human error. But mostly, it's usually people trying to take shortcut to save costs or for whatever reasons.
So in your assessments, would you say that we have enough civil engineers that are qualified to build, especially some of these high-rise buildings in the country?
Okay, so that's a very good one. First, I don't think we're turning out a lot of engineers. Not too much engineers are graduating from universities. So that is number one. Secondly, you need experience. Most of the big and top construction companies are actually foreign owned and foreign operated. So again, you're looking at local versus international, really. I mean, to put it bluntly. Now, we need more engineers. And more than that, we also need to have a good level of enforcement. Because see, you have somebody who has the money to build. And often than not, they want to have a buy-in in the amount of money spent on materials. They want to pick the materials, regardless of their lack of expertise and experience. So by the time you start putting in different influences, that most small construction companies would easily take, then you're doing something that's really wrong from the beginning. So yes, we do need more engineers. We do need more builders, because people that are not trained to build, they turn into builders. It's very common to have somebody, like I said, with money to build. And most of these developers, they're not builders.
Yeah.
They're not.
You're right.
And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
sorry, Miriam.
It's fine.
Can you advise people? Because a lot of people prefer to say, I'm a designer, I can build it myself. They won't go and meet an architect, for instance. They say, no, architect charges too much money. I went to this hotel in Ekiti, and the guy was boasting. I built it myself. I designed it myself. If you see how close it was to the toilet, the room, the hotel. In fact, you open the door of the toilet will hit the bed. And he was so proud. I designed it myself. So I was laughing because I went with my partner who is an architect, and I was saying, look, I designed it myself. Useless hotel. Do you understand?
No, I feel you.
Please, can you tell them the importance of having people, viewers, and experts?
Well, the thing is, if you know you can get away with anything, human nature, you do it. Either here or anywhere else in the world. So, like you rightly said, we don't have enough engineers. So there's a vacuum, okay? Now that vacuum is created and you need people to step into it. So the gentleman that's building a facility in Ekiti and decide, listen, I can just put everything together, blah, 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 and then it's fine. It's not. And that is what inspired so many people. I've had a friend say to me, there's no big deal about having 4, 5, 10 stories, just to start. I'm like, it's not just to start. And this is somebody that is very educated. Okay, so we really need to make sure people understand the complications and the implications of constructions. Because if you have the money to build, fine. But you also need to engage experts. But because every developer wants to save money, okay, you go to a major construction company, they're giving you a 10 billion naira bill to build a 8-story buildings, but you only have 6 million or 6 billion. So you call an engineer who might be a good engineer but needs a job. They will take it up. Using 8 mm instead of a 10 mm, using 80 bags of cement instead of 100 bags of cement. These are not things that will give you immediate problems, but it's a build-up.
Right.
Okay?
We got a few more questions.
And with time, it gets to a point where the accident is going to happen.
Right.
So people just need to be educated. They need to be more aware that it's some sense of ignorance and lack of, the extent of severity of the accident when you, as a developer, compromise by way of trying to cut corners, and then you want to live in that same building. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you don't even realize what you're doing.
Right.
So that really is the area where we need to make sure people are very, very aware and create that safety culture for them to understand.
Okay, so, thank you for that. You would expect that this is common knowledge, but we also have the part of government. We have agencies that's their job to go on these sites and vet it and make sure that you have a proper engineer on site or developer on site, the builders, materials are, the right materials are being used. And the question is, who do I now blame if a building collapses? God forbid if there are already people inhabiting the place and I have the government official that was supposed to do that part of making sure that that building has is strong enough to accommodate people. Who takes the blame and fall for this?
So technically, if an accident happens, a building collapse, the owner of that project bears responsibility. Okay, so let me put that on the side. Between that, An agency will just come, an agent will just come and go and make sure everything is okay. And at the end of the day, is what you present them. I can also tell you for a fact that there are inadequate numbers of inspectors and agencies officials to go around all these construction sites. So that being said, you also have that opportunity where an agency can actually shut down a facility. Okay? That's them doing the job. But then one way or the other, buttons are
That's
pressed,
okay again.
phone calls are made. Again, the facility is back in operation. So for me, yes, you can blame to some extent the agency, you can blame the owner, but it's not about the blaming game. It's about how do we prevent this from happening again.
If I was to prosecute somebody because lives are lost, people have died, I need somebody to pay for this.
And I do appreciate that. Now, you know, there's what we call insurance. Most facilities, construction facilities are supposed to be insured. If you're an insurance company, you know if an accident happens on the site, you're going to bear the cost. It's a high risk for you. Wouldn't you make sure you have somebody on that site to make sure that no hanky-panky or short corners, things are being done properly, so that you don't pay out? So again, it's all about awareness, it's all about responsibility. But, you know, for me, it's more about those innocent lives.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
But you see, we can't negate or remove the part of the Nigerian factor. And why I say that is because we always cut corners. And when we hear cut corners, we think it's about materials. But we cut corners in even professional, getting professionals to do the job. So for example, I want to do a movie, for example, and I need actors, I need the makeup artist, I need a gaffer, I need and I'm thinking, okay, Mariam, you can do makeup now. You can also do styling. Yeah. Okay, I'll do so. You can also do makeup and the styling and the shoes. Okay, the same person.
I even
like
sound.
3 different things.
Sound to
okay, you carry be just to carry the things. You can also one person now does 3 jobs, and we think it's okay. At least for us, the job got done. But in other, because I've been to a few productions where the smallest thing. I have a friend recently he got a job to do some kind of job, and when they said he needed a quantity surveyor in his head. Quantity surveyor. When the quantity surveyor came, just to come and look at the numbers of this, make sure it's okay. And the person going to say, that's
that the job?
Just to come and know the quantity of what they are using. And I'm paying you for that. So he's thinking to himself that,
I've wasted this money.
I've wasted this money. That maybe tomorrow, maybe just for you to count how many, next time I'll count myself. That's the Nigerian factor.
Yeah, it is, and it's very unfortunate. And it's born out of the fact that it's either we don't understand the importance and purpose of certain things. You understand what I'm saying? And then we just do it. And it's also dependent on the fact that people will just take whatever anyway.
Exactly.
So if people are not pushing back, so why should they go extra then? You get my point? So at the end of the day, and that is where the safety awareness comes in, where you need to educate people, let people understand.
Safety awareness, help me understand, because I know safety is an industry on its own abroad that we've not really taken it on here, where things like somebody comes in to inspect. It's your own job to ensure the safety. How is that being accepted in Nigeria? Is it being done properly? Do you think many of us, especially those of us in construction, are considering safety?
You know, there are a handful, because this is what I do, there are a handful of companies actually. They're really, really good on safety when it comes to the facility. I mean, they're good, international standard. But there are quite a lot of them that they really don't have a clue or they don't care. And in the absence of good regulations, why should you go above and beyond?
Get away with it.
And get away with it, exactly. So safety awareness, okay, let me give you an example. If you, as an engineer, instruct your supervisor, listen, we don't have enough cement. You need to minimize it. You need to use this cement to cover 100 square yard or square meter, okay, even though it's only good for 80. Safety culture is for me to say, no, I can't do it. And you say, okay, Nigerian factor, wouldn't he be worried about his job and blah, 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 blah. But you know, it starts from that point, okay, where you push back. And where the guy said, no, listen to me. I cannot mix this because it's not good.
Yeah.
So once that starts, then it will trickle down to the top, okay? And that is where issue of responsibility and accountability comes in. Because anybody will get away with anything. as long as they can do that.
Yeah. So one of the problems I see is the fact that we really do not like to pay for quality. Quality in the sense that if it's going to cost me cheaper to go with this person, and this person is saying, I can't do this job if all these things are not there, why do I want to call the one that is doing shakara for me and making me spend more? Why don't I go with the person who would manage the resources and then give me something? And then in managing the resources, the person will still steal from the one that is supposed to manage, and we end up with most of the shaft that we see. I've seen some buildings collapse recently, and I didn't see chunk, I didn't see quality for it. It seemed like it was a pack of gari that just went down. Like, I was asking myself, did they not use blocks? Did they not? We didn't see
Cement,
anything. Yeah, anything that showed that money was really put into this place. So how do we begin to educate people that it's better that you have it right or you don't have it at all? And then insist that everybody who would be taking on the job can say, this will not be able to do this job, sir, and gracefully decline. But we need to eat.
No, and I completely agree with you. That is the general practice. I want to go with the cheapest. Because obviously you think about saving costs, but the cheapest is usually not the best quality. And I think we know that.
Of course we know that.
We know you're not getting 100%. So you can say, okay, fine, you know what, I can deal with the 80, 75%. So you need to accept what you pay for. Okay? And just, is it that you want to go to sleep?
You need to hold them accountable for accepting that, because if
exactly.
if you're held accountable, yes.
To say, you know what, no, okay, fine.
If people died as a result of that decision, then you have to be held accountable.
So another thing is, the money I have would give me a good bungalow, right? But I want to make more money, and I do 5-story. I'm telling you to make me a plan for 5-story building. The person, the architect or the engineer who has that plan and knows the amount that I'm willing to invest should be able to tell me, no, the money you are putting can only give us a very good bungalow, or refuse the job.
Are you ready to take no for an answer?
Many people don't.
So that's why I'm
You know
saying
what I
that
mean?
some of the people that should be taking accountability for some of these collapses and construction mistakes should be agencies that are meant to enforce this. I wonder, I don't really know how it works, but do we have agencies that come to inspect or vet the professionals that you have called to do your job?
The truth is no. I mean, that's the honest truth.
Wow.
I mean, we can play around that. I'll tell you what, we're talking about laws. Initially, we have in 1958 what we call the factory house. During the colonial period, trying to explain the importance of safety in the work area and all that stuff. And that grew up until 2011, okay, when we have the Employee Compensation Act. Few revisions between that time. In 2012, myself and quite a lot of people were able to influence the passage of a proper safety regulations that would have really kept everything the way it ought to be. Answer most of the questions here. Efforts were made. The House passed it. The Senate passed it in 2012, but it wasn't assented by the president. So that bill that is able to help transform and change the way we do things, because it calls for inspection and training and accountability, is sitting on the shelf somewhere collecting dust. The same bill has a potential of generating up to like about 300,000 employment. Because, like you said, if we have dedicated safety experts in each site, and this is not about construction companies, construction alone, no. I mean manufacturing, oil and gas and all that stuff.
Yeah, National Safety Council sometimes
exactly
to be established.
Exactly.
Not be, so it would not be like we have something that does that right now. That inspection. We don't have any agency.
You have a state safety agency.
Yes.
Again, very minimal in their functions and responsibility.
And what certifications would they have to be a safety person?
Training.
Personnel.
No, she's saying they don't have certification.
What certifications would they get?
I don't know what to inspect.
So would you be willing to train people to establish
The
something
national
that
level.
can train people?
This is what that bill called for. Okay? Ability to train safety officers You don't need to be a brain surgeon to be a safety officer. Okay? 6-month online courses or even less, on-site experience. Every facility, manufacturing, construction, oil and gas, must have a safety representative, independent. In the US, a safety officer can shut down a $10 billion project.
Because I was going to say,
yes,
you lowly safety officer, and then you're talking to this engineer. You say, will you shut up? Do you know how many years I went to school? I went to Harvard, and then you come here with your tiny paper. Get out of my sight,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I mean, I experienced that initially when I started consulting for some companies here. And it took the MD to come, because he is somebody that's really, really imbibed in safety. He said, listen, if the safety officer says don't, the safety officer has the right to shut down this operation.
Wow.
So he empowers the safety officers. So that is culture. That is spreading that culture of we care about safety. It's not just about putting on a helmet or safety jacket or boots. It's used talking the talk and walking the walk.
Can you tell people the implications of if you're supposed to use 10 bags of cement and you use 6? Can you just tell people now, just use this?
Well, I think it doesn't take me to tell them. They know.
And you think
it's like putting 2 cubes of sugar in a tea versus putting 4 cubes of sugar in a tea. One is going to taste sweeter. You know what I mean? So the point at which I completely understand that you're trying to make is, listen, when you compromise the integrity of what you're trying to do, there's going to be an effect. It might not be tomorrow, it might not be next month, but gradually something is going to happen, and the strength of that structure would not be able to withhold.
What I've heard from you so far is that there are 2 parts of it. There's a part of government should do proper inspection. There's a part of the owners, the builder, to ensure they have the right professionals on site. And there's also the part of ensuring we have a safety culture where we pay attention to these things. Is that safety officer in each company that can ensure that everything has been properly put in place before it goes up? Because the truth is that, yes, this one building collapsed, but even before you get to the point, the safety officer should have certified that this is for every stage to ensure that this is okay to go to next stage.
You have to make sure it's the safety officer you cannot buy.
Exactly.
So, like the sad situation, a school is holding a inter-house sports. You would need a safety officer to go around and make sure that it's safe for children and adults that will be using that space.
In the whole industry on safety.
And see, the safety officer is just a focal point. The nitty-gritty and the nucleus is really about the people. Okay? It's a culture. It's not a policing thing. It's a culture.
True. Mindset.
It's creating, and it takes time. It's creating that culture of, no way, I'm not going to use 8 bags instead of 10. That is not an instruction. That's a culture. That's been, that's become part of you.
I remember when we had the CEO of TVC came in, and he came to changing landscape. You know how TVC used to look before? They started planting flowers and doing that. What's this guy coming to be planting flowers? What is this flower we need? Cleared out the place and it was looking all nice and pretty. Now, eventually we liked what it looked like. But initially we were wondering, what is this guy supposed to be on the walls? They're painting these, can you get all these motivational things on the walls? We're wondering, what's wrong with this guy? But we've seen that it's a change. It's a culture that he actually enforced.
Exactly.
To help us understand that landscaping is important. Encouragement for staff is important. These are things that help people move. But you're right, it's a cultural
It's a
change that we
culture.
need to do as a country.
You can spend all the money you want on a building and bring in all the experts, but if you have a team of builders that have that taking shortcut mentality,
They will sabotage you.
Yeah.
exactly. So that is what we need to worry about more.
Thank you so
Integrity.
much.
Integrity. That's the word.
That's
Integrity.
all we can take. Sir, thank you very much. Any final
a
words
pleasure.
for
It's a
us? Any
pleasure.
final words you want to give us?
Well, the thing is, in order for us to move beyond this, because see, building is going to collapse. We're going to talk about it. 2 months stops, we're going to forget about it.
Exactly.
And the next one is going to happen. And the next one, and the next. So we have to sit back and look at what are we doing differently? What do we need to change? First thing I strongly believe is we need to put a good law in place. Like the bill I was telling you that was passed, if the incoming government can put up some kind of executive order to implement it, you're going to see a pure change across the board, beginning of creating a better safety culture. You know what I'm saying? So it's when that happens, you know, you cannot tell a developer to spend 10 billion if he doesn't have the 10 billion.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay? So he's going to look for shortcuts. So we need to change our mindset. We need to be more safety conscious, and not just at work, at home, in the public space. So this is something that we really need to change. And forget about the so-called Niger factor.
I have a message from Ambassador Ayo Olukani. I mean, it's quite long. I can't read everything. But he said, Mariah, on this issue of safety, the Banana Island collapse building is again a reflection of the culture, which you just said, culture of corruption, impunity, incompetence of our public institutions. A building collapsed in TB Joshua's church some years back. Over 100 people, including 80 South Africans, died. It became a diplomatic row between Nigeria and South Africa. So it was just going on and on about it. But it's something that they're fault.
Send me that same message.
There's enough blame to pass around. But the truth is that we don't want to come back in the next few months saying the same thing. Hopefully changes will be made with the law and also with government.
And we the people.
We need consequence.
Yeah.
We need to see the consequence. If your building collapses, you must pay for it.
No, absolutely.
If we don't see punishment for what you have done, people are going to continue.
That's the law.
That is
the
all
law
we
would
can
ensure
take.
that.
All we can take today.
That's all we can take on the show. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.